Thank you very much, Mr. Chauhan. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Honorable Minister Tasovats, Minister of Culture and Information of the Government of Serbia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the panels, etc. I would say it's a rare honor and privilege for me to be addressing such a distinguished audience drawn from very technical companies of both Serbia and of Europe. And it's always a challenge to address the experts, and I'm very lucky to be only the second speaker. I stand here as the representative of a country that is a rising power, the fastest growing among the BRICS member countries, the 6th largest in the world in size, and the 2nd largest in the world in terms of population. Only recently we celebrated 68th anniversary of our independence. This is the year of anniversaries, 100 years of World War I, 70 years of World War II. But how many of you are aware that hundreds and thousands of Indian soldiers perished fighting for your freedom in different theaters of war in Europe? And only 2 years later, at the stroke of the midnight of August 14 and 15, 1947, India won its own freedom from nearly 200 years of colonial rule. India is an ancient civilization, but how did we lose our freedom? You all are drawn from different companies of Serbia and Europe. India lost its freedom to a company. When we lost our freedom to the British East India Company in 1757, which is mid-18th century, India's share in the world manufacturing output was as high as 25%, which means 1 out of every 4 products in the world market was produced in India. And that of Great Britain was only 2% at that point of time. Within 200 years of colonial rule, the ratio was reversed. India's share at the time of our independence in 1947 went down to 1%, and that of Great Britain rose to 25%. India missed the Industrial Revolution. But our freedom fighters, whose anniversary we will very soon commemorate in Serbia on October 2, which is the International Day of Nonviolence and the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. There's a Mahatma Gandhi street here in New Belgrade. Please join us in paying floral homages on October 1 at 11 in the morning. But our founding fathers, they created the kind of institutions and they gave us the kind of constitution which ensured that although India missed the Industrial Revolution, we made a jump start to the digital revolution. And this revolution is spearheaded by the educated, technically qualified, upwardly mobile, the youth of the country, who constitute 65% of 1.25 billion people of India. We are at once an ancient civilization and a young nation. And it is said that any company or any country that does not do business with India is making a big mistake. And India's growth story is now being spun around some of the flagship projects which Prime Minister Narinder Modi has announced. And this includes, very importantly, the Make in India project, to make India the hub of manufacturing in the world, and to give, of course, employment to hundreds of millions of people who are joining the workforce every year. The 100 Smart Cities project, where again, countries such as Serbia can make a contribution. The Skills India, to provide these youth with the right skills so that they become employable. And very importantly, the Digital India project, which is aimed not at the cities, but at the small towns and villages of India, which are not digitally connected, and where 60% of our population resides. And look at the success of these programs within a year, and I would say Digital India was announced only on July 1 this year. If for Make in India, we have already received investment proposals worth $45 billion US. For Digital India, we already have investment proposals worth $75 billion US. Why don't you join this growth story of India? The complementarities are there. Just as in Serbia, in India also, an overwhelming percentage of our GDP, more than 50%, comes from the services sector. And ICT constitutes a very important component. ICT sector alone employs more than 10 million people of India and growing, and exports goods and services worth more than 300 billion US dollars and expanding. And politically, we enjoy a fantastic relationship with Europe. Europe is our largest trade and technology partner. And with Serbia, we have always enjoyed an exceptional relationship. History was created more than half a century ago when Belgrade went on to become not only a co-founder, but also the birthplace of the non-aligned movement, of which India continues to be playing a leading role. Your defense military industrial complex, Yugo Import, contributed so much to our defense preparedness that till date, the population of India has enjoyed uninterrupted peace for over 68 years. Your scientific institutions, the Torlak laboratories, provided us with the crucial vaccines so that the Indian population could be disease-free, and we can proudly claim that today India has been declared as polio-free country. Why not create this magic again? And between Government of India and Government of Serbia, we have put the necessary instruments in place so that your investments are protected. We have a bilateral investment promotion and protection agreement. So that you do not have to pay taxes in two territories, we have a double taxation avoidance convention. We have entered into a trade agreement under which we have given to each other the most favored nation status, and under which we have created a joint economic committee which has already met twice. Very crucially, we have an air services agreement, which we are currently revising to take into account the strategic cooperation agreement that you have entered into with Etihad to create Air Serbia. And Jet Airways of India also has a similar agreement with Etihad. Connectivity is very important to promote business and tourism. And it requires, all you have to do is buy a ticket of 700 euro, a return ticket to India, and another 300 euro you add to it, and for 1,000 euro, you can go and come back and stay in India for a week. And we have other agreements also. We have an agreement on science and technology, we have an agreement on agriculture, and with Honorable Tassovac, we have negotiated an agreement which provides for cooperation in the field of media. This includes digital media, apart from youth affairs, culture, sports, etc. And we have also received the draft of an agreement from the Government of Serbia for cooperation in ICT. And this draft is currently with the Department of Telecommunications of India for their views, and we will take it further from there. The ICT capital of India, Bangalore, will be hosting the India Central Europe Business Forum on October 5 and 6, and we invite you all to please be part of it. And next year, we would also be having a general exhibition on services. And of course, as far as visa is concerned, where connectivity comes, visa is also very important. And through Honorable Tassovac, I would like to convey my gratitude to the Government of Serbia for having made visa-free entry available to all Indian passport holders who hold Schengen, UK, and US visa. And we, on our part, we in the Indian Embassy, we give visa within 24 hours. I will now invite you to please stay on your seats. I bring to you a very short film on Digital India. This film was actually originally in Hindi. I had it overnight dubbed into English, but this is the power of communication. Hindi, big thanks to Bollywood films. You know, India is a country of many languages. And India has been administratively divided into various provinces, and those provinces were created on linguistic grounds. Language breaks all barriers, and that is the reason why India has remained united and one. Language removes all barriers, it overcomes all differences. And in fact, speaking and inaugurating the World Hindi Conference, India, now 1.25 billion people of India, they all understand and speak the language. Hindi has now become the lingua franca of the country. And Hindi is also spoken and understood by about 30 million Indians who live outside India. So inaugurating the World Hindi Conference, our Prime Minister said, that the digital world of tomorrow is going to be dominated by 3 languages: English, Hindi, and Chinese. With these words, I thank you for your time. Please see the film on Digital India, and please come and be part of it.